on the computer. Okay, welcome everyone. Anthony Gambale here. We're going to be doing training on a Dreams Business Cloud, and we're going to just a little housekeeping first to help people, engage and get the information that they need. Let me just share my screen so I can get that thing ready to go here, and I'll pull my Dreams Business Cloud up as well. So some resources. Okay, obviously we have our my YouTube channel, which is a link in the description below. There'll be a link to it. In addition to that, we have YouTube as a general, right? So if you need help with anything that has to do with Dreams Business Cloud, remembering it is on a Go High Level chassis, okay? So it really is Go High Level, and we just have made customization to it to befit what it is that we do. Okay, so Go High Level is think of it like you buy a car, and instead of going to the dealer and grabbing one off the lot, you can customize it to the way you want it, right? So that's what we've done here, right? It's a vehicle that's been customized for us, and what it is, okay, and what it's used for is two things. One, businesses. You are in business for yourself, right? You are a business providing a service, okay? A second way that it's used for is for organizational communication, maybe nonprofit or whatever the case may be, right? Those are the two primary reasons you're going to have a Go High Level system. And Go High Level knows that, okay? And because you're engaging with the public, whether it's nationally or globally, you have to abide by certain rules and regulations. Now, if you're a business, which is what it's designed for, then you have to be set up as a business, right? So you have to go and have a domain name that's registered with whatever business that you have. If you already have a domain, then fine, you can pull that one in. If not, you have to go get a domain name, and you have to set your account up. So if this is your first video, go to the playlist on this YouTube channel and go to the very first one. They're all labeled, right? Episode 1, and start from the beginning. You don't want to read a book at chapter 5 and then try to figure out what's going on, right? You want to start from the beginning and move along. It is a fairly complex system here, and you really cannot skip steps. You really can't. So in addition to this channel, as far as the resource is concerned, you also have YouTube. Okay, so if you're struggling and you're having issues with doing anything, go to YouTube and type in how do I, whatever you're trying to accomplish, in Go High Level, right? How do I create an email, start an automation, blah, 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 and Go High Level, right? And there'll be a bunch of videos, okay? Another way that you can do it, and I've done a lot this way, is you go into ChatGPT and you tell it, hey, listen, I'm looking, this is what I'm looking to do. This is what I'm trying to accomplish. I want to do A, B, C, D, and give it a prompt. And then it will walk you through step by step how to do that. Okay. And what I'm going to show you today is something that I did in ChatGPT. Okay. I took something that was relatively complex, and it took me some time. I'm not going to lie. It took like 2 full days. I mean, 2 full days, not like 6-hour days. We're talking like 2 full 9-hour days, doing this because I was learning and doing it and going through the prompted ChatGPT. Okay. And that is creating opportunities, pipelines, and all that kind of stuff, which is the topic of today's training here. What is an opportunity? What is a pipeline? and how do we engage with them and really run your business. Okay, so let's go to the opportunities, and we'll talk about each one of them. So we have opportunities. An opportunity is an engagement with a business, whatever that opportunity is. A pipeline is what is within that the sequence of whatever that event is. Okay, so right now you see there's nothing here in this one, right? It's completely empty. Okay. Last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, I created my own Dream Score mirrored off of Dreams Business Resources Dream Score, and I created from scratch using some of the similar formulas and formats that they've done here, and I have it going into here and populating it. So I'm going to show you. I'm pretty sure I have it up here. Let me just find it. Here it is. Okay, so this is going to look familiar to you. I'm going to go into creating a dream. So you're going to see how a pipeline is created and how. Let's going to put an email in here. I'll just put my email in there for that, just for a placeholder. This is a vineyard here that's in Long Island here. Let me just actually grab their actual web address here. And let's do this the right way here. Let me just grab it. It's called Roanoke Vineyards. Okay, here we go. Roanoke Vineyards. Let me just grab his website. I figured that's what it was, but and we'll just say, let's just do that because it is. Okay, so this should be pretty much familiar to everyone who's seen the Dreams Business Cloud and also the Dream Score. So it's identical. I duplicated it right down to the period, right? Now this is not it's not a laundry list, right? It's not questions and answered. Some of it is like the name of the business, the web, but all that stuff you is already it's going to be pre-populated. You know the company, chances are you know the name of the person, right? You may or may not know their title. You may or might not know their phone number and email address, but much of it you can already pre-populate. This is conversational. As you're going through these, it's not like what's your annual revenue? How many employees do you have? How many years you're in business? What's the square foot of your business or your building, right? Then you go, what's your business debt? No, right? This is all conversational, right? And I've got a whole thing that I created a diorama, a flow, a conversational flow with probing questions along the way to push this along. So you can see all the fields are here, right? Primary fields, business, the person's name, what industry they're in, what their debt is, what their payments are, what their credit is. So this is all kind of self-explanatory, but the conversation behind it is the iceberg, right? What you're seeing here is what you see from the ocean, like from the ocean liner. Oh, look at that iceberg. The conversation and questions is what is going on underneath the water that you're not seeing. Okay. Expenses, right? Again, these are factual numbers, but the way you get to those numbers and the way you quantify those numbers is what really matters, of course. And I created a worksheet that I take notes along the way. Their assets are in here, how many employees, blah, 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 right? Go through here. Now, once we get to the last page here, you were never able to go back, right? You have to like start over. So I made it so I can go back and forth and do what I think. Now, when I hit calculate, okay, it's going to do a bunch of different things here. It's going to calculate their dream score, and you'll see a PDF pop up, and it's going to take all this information, right? And it's going to shoot it over to Go High Level, and it's going to put it in the fields, in the custom fields that I've created for all these queries, okay? And is going to go into the pipeline. It's going to go into a bunch of pipelines, right? It's going to all this is going to happen instantaneously the way I created it, right? So it's going to go into the Dream Score pipeline as a Dream Score, and you'll see all the opportunities for this particular business is going to be in the Dream Score individual pipeline, which is right here that we just let me go back into. I want to leave this actually open, but I just want to show you what I'm talking about here by going into the opportunities. Okay, so these are all the pipelines. They're coming up here. And we're going to be focusing on Dream Score version 2. I named it, so I know it's my version of the Dream Score, right? And not any other version. It's the one that I've created. See, there's nothing here. Now, as soon as I go click this, it's going to send all that information to Dreams Business Cloud, right? It's going to create that PDF. Boom. In just a split second, it's all there. So let's go. I want to open another instance here because I don't want to jump around within the dashboard. I want to go right to the contacts. Now, if you're watching this recording, it's going to be, it's still kind of doing its thing. So let's go to here. Okay, the workflow. Let me just refresh. Give it a minute to kind of do its thing. It should populate in here. It's still doing its thing. Let's make sure it's working here. Let's go into the automations. Workflows. So here's my workflows. I'm going to go into my workflows. Dream Squad version 2. So each one of these is an opportunity that's going to create an opportunity. Okay, so let's go back into here. And let me go into, I think I should put that in here as well. We're looking for Dreams.io, Dreams Cloud, Fugu, website optimization. Okay, this should be, okay, that all looks, I'm looking for the main hub one here. Debt restructuring, dialer. See, they're all here for all our opportunities. Let me just make sure. I may have to send it to Go High Level. Let's see. If it's not here, I'll go back into that form and send it. No, okay, so let's go back into here. So let's click send. Okay, that should have sent everything. But while it's doing that, it's going to calculate all the opportunities for that particular individual business. It's going to put them in the acronym of dreams, what the opportunity value is. Okay, and more importantly, the buttons are going to take them to. Let me just click on that so we don't lose it.
Now
To my
what,
website.
Tanner? God dang, I just took you out.
It's going to go to my websites.
What?
Just mute everyone here so we don't have background noise. Debt restructuring is going to go there as well. HR benefits, it's going to go to the goal. So each one of these buttons is now live and it's going to go to where it needs to go. I can save it as a PDF. And if I email it out to the business owner, which I may not, depending on the conversation and how it's going, the PDF will have live links to the appropriate websites that I want them to go to. Okay, so let's now go back into here and see if that's coming over here. Hopefully it did. No, for some reason it's not coming over. So let's go into the individual opportunities and see what's coming in there. I did move some things around, so it may not have, I may have knocked something out of whack. Let's go into any pipeline. Let's go into energy. Yeah, for some reason it didn't come over. I was just I was getting some details in here. So I may have missed something. Let's go back to edit worksheet. It all looks good here. So I got to figure out why it's not, it's not coming over. But that doesn't matter because we're talking about the opportunities and the pipelines. So each one of these is going to have a pipeline. There's multiple pipelines that are in there. You can also create your own. Let me go back to opportunities here. Okay, so each one of these opportunity pipelines is going to have a value, and then that person in that in that opportunity is going to move along through the whatever stages or fields are in that particular pipeline, which are mostly created, but you can also create, and you can also add an additional step by by clicking add opportunity, and that would be an opportunity within the energy pipeline. So each pipeline has different steps that are customized to that individual. So let's go into the DreamScore one so you can get an idea of what we've got there. So we have an invitation. Listen and learn is the first appointment where you've gone through that questionnaire, and once I should have hit, I was working the other day, but I was moving some things around. So I could have knocked one of the webhooks off or something like that. Well, they'll all be lined up here. Every one of those variables in that report. Where's that report? Let me close this one out. And then let me just hit calculate again. Each one of these variables that you see here is going to go into the dreams business, the DreamScore, and I also have it going into the pipeline, the individual pipeline for that particular genre, if you will, right? So if you go down here, you'll see there's a Stream PC, right? There's a health benefits, there's FICA, there's R&D, there's energy, there's Dreams AI, there's the cloud here. They're all in here. I was hoping it would work and I would show you live, but for the recording, I will redo this meeting and make sure that it's all working. So when you do see the recording, it will, it will all be live and it'll be working. Just got to figure out. I must have knocked something off, moving things around, trying to get it to work. But that is what the opportunities. Now, once they're in here, you'll be able to move one. I could always create a quick opportunity just to show you how you can create an opportunity with a client on the fly. Okay, so here it is. It did come in. He did come in here. So let's go see if the field values, actually go back to him and see if the information came in and it maybe just didn't create an opportunity, which is possible. Okay, so it did create the opportunities. So they're here 5 minutes ago. For some reason, they're not going, they didn't go into the opportunities, which is interesting. We open up another instance. Maybe it just needed to be refreshed, or it's just taking longer. Who knows? Let's go back into opportunities. No, I don't see anything. Let's go into one of the other opportunities. No, FICA. No, let's go into R&D. No, okay, let's go back into his individual. Let's see if the data came over. So you see the data came over. All the answers to the questions are here. So all the data is here, but for some reason it did not. So the webhook is working. Let's see if anyone's waiting to come in. So the webhook is working. For some reason, it did not create an opportunity. See, here's the opportunities card, but for some reason, it didn't it didn't go into the opportunity column, which is weird. So let's look at the opportunity card since it is working, but for some reason it's not showing in the opportunity column. That could be a go high level issue because it's showing here. So each opportunity is going to have a name, right, and of what the opportunity is. And this one's a 125. It's going to have the client's data, and it's going to have the value that that opportunity could be for that business. So this is a potential $56,000 opportunity value, business name, and of course, where it came from, which is DreamScore version 2, my version, um, was where it came from. Now I can add different things into this. I can change these values, right? And if I do, I just hit update. So it did create all these opportunities here, but I don't know why it didn't go into look at them all. I created multiples because I did it twice because I didn't understand why it didn't go in. Any questions so far? I saw Leonidas, I think, had his hand raised.
Yeah, I do. So you did a dream score for this company,
Mhm.
correct?
Yep.
And then did the information automatically get pulled um, into the Dreams Business Cloud?
Yes, it did, as you can see here. Okay,
Okay.
this is a real business, but I guesstimated the numbers since I haven't spoken to the owner yet. Right? So it's someone I plan on going to talk to, but I'm going to go there. I'm not going to call them on the phone, and I'm going to go in the middle of the week, like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. You're not because you go on the weekend, forget it. It's going to be we're in season, man, and the wine country is hopping during the weekend. So I'm going to go on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, probably Wednesday of next week, and I'll hit a few places and see if I can get some conversations started, and perhaps either do a dream score or um, probably mostly talk about the tax credits that they could get. Some of them have restaurants, some don't. So it just depends. So if I could tip may or may not be part of that conversation. Okay. Uh, I know several of them have like weddings. They'll do weddings and whatnot. So that may not be an opportunity for FICA tipping if you think, well, they tip those people. Yes and no. They tip them, but as part of a service fee. It's kind of calculated into the bill, if you will. And a fee is not a tip, even though they call it a fee. They call it a tip, right? But it's not a tip. It's a fee. If you have no choice but to pay it, it's not a tip, and that doesn't qualify under the guidelines as a credit. Okay, it's part of doing business. Okay, so each one of these opportunities, is here. I just got to figure out why it's not showing up in the column, which is weird because the cards are here. So let's go to that's 125. Let's look at R&D here. So here's R&D one. Let's see what the details are there. So the R&D value for that business is $125,000. Okay. And all the values are here. I have all the values here as well in my card. So I can, easily ascertain, what I'm doing. Now, when it's in the opportunity, let me go back into opportunities here, which I think is when the opportunities here, they'll just be a card. I'm going to go into my name. I'm just going to I'm going to go into Bob here again. Let's see if I can push one in there for him. Let's see here. So on the right hand side, one of these is create opportunity. Here we go. So here are the opportunities. See that? Pretty interesting. But for some reason, they're not showing. Let's see if we hit these dots, if it will do something. Yeah, it's just going to view the details was what we just saw. Let's try from the actual opportunity. There could be something going on with Go High Level that it's, from here, I can't create an opportunity from our clients. Let's go to my, myself here. I think I have a me in here. And let's see if it'll work manually. Okay, let's
Hey,
go.
Anthony, Nick Ferrara in Phoenix.
Hey,
I
Nick.
know that Go High Level, because I'm not able to get into my
Mhm.
Dream Business class since yesterday, and Yvette said they were working on it and
It
doing
could be
some
something.
upgrades.
Yeah, let's see here. I'm going to create an opportunity. So this is the card that we just saw. I'm going to create an opportunity. I'm going to put it in the pipeline. So your pipelines will all be here as well. So let's just put it. I'll just put it in. I'll put in FICA tip. It's open, meaning we'll put a value in there of say 10,000. Okay, it's assigned to me. No followers. Business name. Let's just see. Test ABC. Source. Let's just see. Make sure I've got everything in here. I'll put my cell phone in there. And let's create. Let's see if it. No duplicates. Let's see what happened here. Okay, so the opportunity location doesn't allow duplicates. It doesn't care. So we have a pipeline. Let's go to the opportunities. Let's go to FICA. Okay, so it did come in manually. So let's go back into, so I can show you the stages. Let me go back into me here. Open the opportunity. So there's different stages. So the stages are moving from left to right. You'll see though they move from left to right. So link sent, link clicked, listen and learn, appointment set, solution proposed, closed, or idle. So that's what's in that thing, in that card. Just so you can kind of understand that you can do that here as well. So let's cancel that. Let's go back into the opportunities again. So an invite link would be that you sent out someone an I decide, or you sent them something to view the video. Right? You sent it to them. Okay, they got it, and they viewed the video. Yeah, I saw the video. It's pretty interesting. Then you can move them to link clicked, and this value is what the potential opportunity for that particular business, for that FICA tip, right? And then they meet with someone, or maybe if it was a dream score or whatever, listen and learn means more than just a video, a conversation with a specialist in that, even if it's a 10-minute conversation. What I've done with my team is I've told them to schedule a 10-minute discovery call, okay? And in that discovery call, we'll ascertain if whatever we're talking about pertains to that business, right? Because sometimes business owners don't want to get wrapped up into a 15 or 20 or 30 minutes, especially if it's a Zoom meeting. They get a little apprehensive. If it's a phone, if it's just a phone meeting, just a few minutes, and in that short period of time, I what I do is develop a relationship with that person as quick as possible. Um, Familiarity, I'm going to research who they are, about their business. So I'm going to know a few things, right? It's just not like I'm going in cold and all I know his name is, Tom Jones. I know nothing else about him. I'm going to know as much as I can about him so I can kind of guide a conversation uh, along a certain path. And then the objective of that call is to schedule the next event. And that is either going to be a PowerPoint presentation talking about tax credits, or maybe a dream score if he is open to it. Maybe he's got a bunch of things going on that maybe that is a better opportunity. But for this individual that I met last night, he's a farmer. He lives in Texas. He's been doing it since he's been yay high to a grasshopper. He's in his 40s. He knows every farmer, everything that has to do with farming in like a 300-mile radius. I mean, he can like walk up to these people. He's already had some preliminary conversations, so I just had to give him some vocabulary and direct him into uh, a 10-minute conversation. And I told him, if you're speaking with someone, ask him, do you have a few minutes right now? Let me see if Anthony is available. Why do I do that? I want to move that individual as quickly through these stages as humanly possible, right? Because you could say that individual could be all ready to go. It sounds really interesting. It's 12:30, right? That sounds exciting. Yeah, I'd like to learn a little bit more about that. Yeah, let's set a meeting. Oh, I'll be available next Thursday between 12:30 now and dinner time. 90% of what he was told in that meeting, just a few 6 hours earlier, it's been dissipated. It's like morning mist, right? It's all misty and foggy in the morning. The sun comes up, it's gone. That's exactly what happens. It's gone. Why? Because it's not being reinforced. And the only way you reinforce information is by being repetitive, right? So now that person if he has the opportunity to connect with me right there while the guy's on the tractor, on the back of a horse, or arms deep in feed, I'll have a quick conversation with him, and then schedule a Zoom meeting as quick as possible. Are you available later on today? At the end of your day, I always try farmers, especially at the end of your day, because there's something going on, something happens in the middle of the day, they get sidetracked. They're running a chaotic business. Farming is organized chaos. If anyone has anything and knows anything about agriculture, it is organized chaos, because you never know what you're going to get, right? And then you just move that person. Now they're meeting, they listen and learn. That's a 10-minute conversation. Yeah, I like to learn a little bit more. Appointment set. Now the appointment set, and I'm going to bring that person through a discovery conversation. If it's R&D, I have an R&D PowerPoint I'm going to go through, right? If it's a business that could do more than R&D, like let's say a vineyard that has a restaurant, there's several that do have restaurants where you can go and then sit down and they'll serve you, right? It's just another building where they have a restaurant attached, and of course they serve their wine, right? And then they try and get you into a wine club, you know the deal, right? So if that's the case, I'm going to use a different PowerPoint that has tax that I've created. That's for tax credits, right? So it's going to be FICA, it's going to be 125, it's going to be R&D, right? So it's mostly focused on the tip credit, but I also bring the other two up because when I do switch gears and start talking about other tax credits, I've already planted the seed that we're going to be talking about it in the beginning, right? So anticipation is a powerful tool, right? Setting up anticipation for that individual, setting up a flow of conversation. We're going to be talking about in the beginning X, Y, Z, right? So as the conversation unfolds, they know the topics, as they drop in. Okay, some we'll talk about now. Others we'll get a little bit more in detail on our next meeting, right? And then after that, we'll meet with that individual. Again, I'll probably put in another stage in here, which would be gathering information, documentation gathering, or something to that effect. Now, when it comes time for the solution to be proposed, what does that mean? Now we're going to go back to that individual, and we're going to say, here's your numbers. This is what your credits are going to be, right? And at that point, if they say thumbs up, we're going to go talk over how they're going to pay for it, because in the listen and learn, they know what the fee is, right? They know what the fee is, and they know the two options that are available to them at that time. So once the solution is proposed, they actually know what the fee is before that. Sometimes I tell them the fee is upfront that it's 20%, and I always say 400% rate of return guaranteed, paid for by the U.S. government. Isn't that a beautiful thing? They love getting something from the government, right? That was taken from them. Now, if the solution is proposed and they say good to go, right? And then at that point, you'll know what the real value is, right? Because you've done the study, so this number will be adjusted for that particular business, right? You'll update it. You'll move it into closed, and then that's done. Right? And then the top one here will calculate all the businesses that will stack in here, because they stack like playing cards, and all the total gross closed amount will be at the top of each one of these for all data within that field. Okay. And if for some reason there's a lag between the solution proposed and closed, I have in some pipelines, I have it definitely in R&D, and I'll show you here. I have an idle stage. Let's stream PC. Hold on. You go into R&D. I'm still playing with some of these pipelines. I'm making them a little bit more robust. Where's my R&D pipeline? Financial FICA tip energy. I know it's here somewhere. Energy, funding. Here it is. I think I have an idle one in here. There it is. It's just off to the right. So idle is for someone who maybe they don't have any taxes to pay this year, right? We've had that happen a couple times. So now we're screening a little bit deeper with individuals to make sure that they're paying taxes. If they're not paying taxes, federal income taxes on their business, they could have $1 million in tax credit. It doesn't make a difference because they're not paying taxes, right? So credits mean nothing unless they are neutralizing something. They must be neutralizing something. If there's nothing to neutralize, then it's a no-go. So there's two businesses that I recently met. One just started up. He's in his first year, and the first year is typically not profitable. And he figures next year he'll be making a hell of a lot more money. Again, for some reason, I have a lot of activity in Texas. I live in New York, which goes to show you, it doesn't matter where you are, it just matters who you're talking to and the activity that you're creating. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on the opportunities and the stages or anything along that line?
I do.
Go ahead, Rachel.
I noticed that when I go into my CRM,
Mm-hmm.
I can only go through the dashboard. And so, but once I get into the dashboard, I can only use the phone number that's on the very top. And so from there, I'm having difficulty.
Okay. So does anybody else have any questions? Because I'll stop the share and we're gonna go into her account. I'll stop the recording. I'm gonna hold on a second. I don't want to stop the share. I want to stop the recording.
Because I did go into